Hey, what's up, guys? I want to give you an update on this go-kart that I built. If you've seen my earlier video, this was it's a dingo. The guy told me it was a 1998. I'm not sure of the year. I can't find it on this cart anywhere, but the cart was real rusted out. It had original factory brigs on it. It was all original condition. It wasn't really bad at all. It's missing the top roll bars, but that's fine. But let me show you what I've done to this. The first thing you may notice is it has a Predator engine on it. And it's also got a torque converter on it, a 30 series torque converter from Go Power Sports. And it worked great, it fit on this cart just fine. This engine really is a little bit too big for this cart, because if you use the factory plate and leave the gas tank where it's at, it gets into this right here. So what I decided to do was to relocate the gas tank so I wouldn't have to do any modifications to the tank itself. I could just bolt the engine on and have plenty of room to adjust the chain. So what I did was make these little brackets that bolt in behind the seat there. You can see it's just aluminum angle. It's 1/8 inch thick angle. Cars and cameras, Ike, John, what's up? And I didn't use anything fancy to make these with. I just used a grinder, is all I had, and a grinding disc to cut out the notch here so I can get my bolt in. So you know, that was one problem that I had to solve. The other one was how to make it solid. So to solve that problem, I made another one here and attached it to the engine down there where the tank originally attached. See, just take a grinder and bend it, and use, you know, bolts. I had some extra bolts that come with the torque converter. That's what I used for there and down there. Worked out great, solid. Gas tank's out of the way. Of course, you know, I had to get some new fuel line, and I did not remove the original fuel line. All I done was get right in there is a brass coupling that I put between these two lines. You can see I used the factory clamp and I used the aftermarket clamp. Works great, doesn't leak. If you have a dingo and you want to put the engine on without having to mess with this tank, which I've seen people beat the front of these tanks in just to get them on these cars, you don't have to do it. This is an option. What else did I do? I redid the seat. Now, don't judge my seat, because this is the first seat that I've ever rebuilt, ever redid. It looks like crap, but you know, it looks better than what it did. I also put a battery in this cart for my LED lights. It'll be fine. And I put a bracket here for switches. I've lost the nut that holds this switch in, but you know, you can see what it does. That's the kill switch. And this one over here is for the LED lights. And you see I use a flat stock aluminum self-tapping screws and attached it beneath, you know, the steering wheel, because it's easy to get to. This is the wire. It goes to the kill switch factory location. You can see it back there. I disengaged the oil sensor and all that good stuff, because you don't want the oil sensor on these carts, or any cart for that matter, because if you do, it'll slosh around, it'll cut in and out. And throttle cable hooked up. It's a new throttle cable, got that from Amazon. But speaking of this throttle, let me show you something. On these Predator engines, they'll usually go about right here. But look, mine goes farther. There's a screw right here. If you back that all the way out, it'll give you way more throttle. And I'm not sure the governor can pull itself back with this much tension that's on there. There's quite a bit on there. Works great. I would highly recommend back this screw out, hook it up, and you'll get a lot more throttle. The battery, you can see it's just a lawnmower battery from Walmart. And again, to keep this thing from moving around a whole lot, just flat stock aluminum, 1/8 inch thick, bend around, and with self-tapping screws. wired up with factory hardware bolts and a nut so I can tighten it up. See how everything's wired. And here is a piece of angled aluminum that I had to figure out how to run my wires through here and not have them, you know, in my area with my feet till I could get into them and whatnot. So that's what I decided to do there to keep the wires out of the way. Worked well. Out of the way, good. Springs, Tractor Supply. See, they work great. Throttle returns like it's supposed to. Brake returns like it's supposed to. LED lights, cheap LED lights. Amazon, you can see how I mounted these two. This is just the flat stock again, cut down, self-tapping screws. And you can see I bent it at an angle to get the angle that I wanted for my lights. But yeah, guys, that's it. No fancy tools to do this with, just everyday items. Grinder and a simple socket set that I paid 20 bucks for to take everything apart, and I built this whole cart. But you know, I still got to work on the front end. The front end has been broke and welded. You can see down there. See, somebody put a nut there or a bolt there to fill in a gap somewhat. I'm gonna cut those off, and I'm gonna place an order with Go Power Sports again, and get some new spindle brackets, some new spindles, and all that good stuff. But if you have an interest in carts, I say find one. You can go watch John and Ike's channel. You can watch Red Beard's Garage, or you can watch I'd Rather Be Welding, or Build, Break, Repeat. If I said the last one right, I'm not sure, but they show you guys how to do this stuff. And if you're into this kind of thing, it'll come second nature. It's just super simple to do, and plus they're fun. Once you get it done, it's yours. You've done all the work to it. You know how to fix it if it breaks down, and it's just a blast. You know, it kind of connects you back to your childhood. But there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, and I have another older stricker cart that I'm gonna build too, but I'm gonna do a more in-depth build on that one as we get building it. I'm gonna extend the frame out and all that good stuff. But that's for another video. I just want to give you an update on Dingo. Peace out. See you later, guys.